Afternoon and welcome to the mobile session of our AdTech Startup Spotlight series. We created the AdTech Startup Spotlight series because we believe that technology is driving much of the growth in online advertising today. And so we know that startups are key to technology and key to innovation. And so we wanted to highlight some of the most innovative companies in digital marketing. We started the competition last year and it was really well received, so we decided to continue to do it this year. Tell you a little bit about the process. In January, we put out a call for startups. We got close to 100 entries, and we had a group of judges that helped us narrow it down. Our judges are an esteemed group of industry visionaries, a combination of agency and VC and analyst, thought leaders, and they're gonna help us narrow down the 16 startups that we chose to one winner in each category. So I'm gonna introduce the judges to you. We have Husani Oakley. He's the technology director at Wieden & Kennedy, New York. He's a technology and advertising marketing expert with over 12 years of experience with clients like PayPal, ExxonMobil, Volvo, Disney. He's also run some startups, and he's a former VP and director at Euro RSGC. Our second judge is Noah Elkin. He's a principal analyst at eMarketer. Before eMarketer, he was a managing director at Stake. I know Noah well. I'm sure if any of you read eMarketer, you've seen some of Noah's research. Our third judge is Mike Geiger. He's president and chief integration officer at J. Walter Thompson North America, and he's led teams for over 12 years in strategy, branding, production, and development, as well as technology. And as I said, we chose these judges because they are experts in their space. They see new stuff all the time. They know what their clients want, and they know how to cut hype, to cut to the real beyond the hype. The startups that win will actually win the AdTech Innovation Award, and it is something that helps them be recognized as some of the most innovative companies in the space. I want to tell you a little bit about the session format. Each company that's going to present has 10 minutes. They have 7 minutes to do a presentation where they're going to take a pretend $500,000 budget and show how they would make that budget work for a real brand. At the end of that 7-minute presentation, they're going to spend 3 minutes being quizzed by the judges. At the end of the session overall, the judges are going to pick the winner. So you guys get to see history in the making. I'm going to bring up our first startup, and it's John Boyd of ShopSavvy.
From ShopSavvy. Really happy to be here. How many of you have used ShopSavvy? Okay, so ShopSavvy is a mobile shopping platform. We've seen, I'm in charge here. So, let me move.
And you can use this if you want.
Okay. So we move forward how? Let's see.
I'm finding your presentation.
Does this count against my 7
No,
minutes?
it doesn't. There you go. That's yours.
There we go. Okay. All right. Let's move to the,
Stop pressing things.
yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, so one of the big trends that we've seen is all the folks that used to be using shopping tools on the desktop, they've now got these little handheld computers in their hand, and they're now engaging with that computer while they're in the retail store. So they're trying to figure out, okay, I'm in the store, and I've essentially got what used to be a desktop in my hand. How am I going to interact? How am I going to find new information? How am I going to make decisions when I'm actually in the store? So at ShopSavvy, we've got this perspective that the next 3 years of shopping, there's going to be more change than we've seen in retail in the last 30 years. You guys have all been seeing all these local retail stores, they're closing. There's a lot of pain. Folks like Best Buy, they're shutting down stores. Others are shutting down stores. They're trying to figure out how do they adapt to this new environment. It used to be that you could be a huge location and you could just bring the customers in, and you could take it for granted that no one would have, you know, an information tool in their hands. Well, now we see this as an opportunity. We see being inside of these stores with these handhelds, with the mobile shopping platform is an opportunity. So we think the next 3 years is going to be more change than we've seen in the last 30. So in short, ShopSavvy helps brands and retailers to adapt to this new environment. It's a complete sea change that's affecting retail, and that's also affecting advertising. And we're there as a platform for these brands and these retailers to start new conversations with people inside the stores. So briefly, some stats on ShopSavvy. Over 25 million downloads. So no hype, 25 million people have downloaded across iPhone, Android, and Windows. So we get about a million, at least a million new users a month. Sometimes it's 2 million, sometimes it's a little more. We've just launched a new wallet feature, which is a little bit unique, where you can actually consummate and buy using the application. Major brands or advertisers on there. We've had ads from HP, Best Buy, Panasonic, Levi's, US Cellular, you name it. Brands are all trying to start the conversation with these shoppers when they're actually in the store. Okay, real simply, the shopping platform, it reads the barcode, or you can actually type the information in, image search, whatever you want to do, however the user wants to shop, we will help them find whatever product they're looking for. Here's a sample ad campaign. So this is a user walks into a Target, they're looking for a razor, they scan a razor. With this campaign, you get all the information about the product they're searching for, but it's also an opportunity for someone like Panasonic to engage and say, hey, well, take a picture of yourself, you know, with the product, take a picture of yourself in the store, ask a friend about what kind of razor you can get, and link in with a social add-in as well. So you connect that to Facebook. You say, hey, this is my new haircut using this Panasonic razor. What do you guys think? And the opportunity here, for example, is you can be the face of ShopSavvy for Panasonic, where someone takes a crazy hairstyle, they take a picture of themselves using the product, and they say, and Panasonic says, well, guess what? That's the best one. Anytime a user actually scans with that razor, they're going to now see this photo. They're the face of ShopSavvy for Panasonic for that product. Another really simple use case, someone scans a Vizio TV, they walk into a Best Buy, they're scanning a Vizio TV, Sony runs an ad, says, don't buy that Vizio, buy this model instead, here's the model number, here are 4 reviews why this model is the better model. By the way, if you buy it, we'll give you 20% off, you can slide to pay, boom, it's going to your house, or you can pick it up in the store, and if you buy it in the next hour, we'll give you another 15% off. So a very connected experience. It's not an ad. You're adding value to what the user is seeing, their shopping experience. So they actually have a better bloody shopping experience. We're talking to all these retailers about all the pain that they're going through. But guess what? Instead of competing on price, you can actually make shopping better. You can make a better experience for users, and you can fight back against Amazon that way, right? If you walk into a retail store and you have this sense of surprise, you have no idea what kind of a deal you're going to be offered, what kind of a campaign that's going to trigger when you step through those doors, that's a sense of surprise that Amazon can't offer. So that's kind of a brief summary of just, I'm on a little bit of a time budget here, but you can offer different time-based deals. Let's see what else we've got here. So basically the product, the importance of ShopSavvy in this platform is people typically have the product in their hand. They're engaging with it. They're taking pictures of the product. We get 40,000 user gens a minute, right? So people are taking pictures of them, they're engaging with it, they're connecting to Facebook, they're connecting to they're connecting these products in new ways. So if you've got a new brand, a new idea, a new campaign, it's a perfect way to engage. How am I doing on time, Tamika?
You have 2.5 minutes.
Awesome. I'm in good shape then. This is a campaign that we actually did. So this is for Best Buy. And this was kind of an interesting campaign. We did this about 3 or 4 months ago. It was about a $250K budget. Essentially what the user did is they would get clues. So they would scan something that Best Buy either had a sale on or was typically electronics related, and they'd get an offer to participate in this scavenger hunt and win an iPad, and they'd get these kind of series of clues, like a clue to send them to the Mac section or a clue to send them to appliances, and it ran over a series of 3 weekends. So it would really only run for 2 days. I believe we did about 500,000 impressions on this, and we got a pretty good, here's some stats on you can see some of the clues here, how the screens kind of look. These are kind of the clues unlocked. But essentially, out of about 500,000 people who saw the ad, 50,000 have engaged in the contest, where they filled something out or they engaged in some way. About 27,000 people went to the Best Buy store over 3 weekends. The average distance traveled was about 6.9 miles. This was a very small test, but the idea was to create a new experience to actually move people through the aisles, change the shopping experience, make it a little bit interesting. This is something that Amazon can't do. People want a good experience when they're walking in the store. The way to fight back is not with better pricing. The way to fight back is with better experiences. And this is a platform where brands, retailers, everybody can actually talk to. We've got 25 million downloaded users. There's no bigger platform. It's a leading platform. It's the way to actually engage with the users while they're shopping. Our tap rate on this campaign was about 10%. It was like 9.7 or something like that, which is pretty high. And typically our tap rates on advertising are anywhere between 10 and 14%. So we get really, really high engaged users. We try to run creative ads, and we try to run ads that are going to be compelling for people so that we do get those high tap rates. But again, it created new product discovery where you're moving throughout the aisle. And I guess just to finish up here, I think that brands and retailers need to use technology to change the world right before the world changes them with technology. Right now, I think people are feeling overwhelmed.
Time.
They're okay.
So judges?
That's my last slide. So
Judges,
but
please ask John some questions.
All right. How do you guys make money?
What's that? Say that again.
How do you make money?
So we make money selling. We sell money a cost per targeted experience. So that campaign was a $250,000 campaign. We also make money when people actually buy using the platform. So for example, if someone actually buys one of these products using our application, we get an affiliate fee, just like anybody would, an affiliate fee on the internet and so forth. But the primary source of revenue right now is what we call add-ons. That Best Buy campaign was an example of that. That was about a $250,000 campaign.
John, can you use that mic and
yes, and get over here?
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Do you guys actually also do the production?
We do the creative most of the time, and we actually typically fight to do the creative because one of the challenges is sometimes agencies will just go out a cookie cutter. They'll use display ads or what have you. So we'll do the creative. We'll work with getting all the technology hooked up, everything in the right place. We'll test it. We fight to do the creative, but I'll just be honest with you, about 20% of the time is when we're doing the creative. A lot of times people are like, hey, you want to run this ad? If you want it, you have 5 minutes. You got to put it on. So those experiences tend not to be as creative, but we're trying to change that.
Why should Target, let's say, use this app as opposed to integrating similar functionality into the existing Target app?
So I think that the retailers have tried to do this, and we actually, as part of our business, we do sell the technology. So Macy's, for example, they use our technology to do that. And we help them, and we're not scared of that at all, because users want one place that they can go to. We know how many downloaded users they have. We know how many downloaded users almost all the retailers have with their targeted apps. They can never get critical mass because people want one place they can go. And so we'll have 25 million users. They'll typically, I'm seeing numbers like 10,000, 100,000. So they want a critical mass where they can get all the information in an unbiased way. So it's not so, if I was Target, I'd rather them use my app. That's not the problem. The problem is the shopper wants an unbiased, neutral platform to use where they know they're getting fair and neutral information.
What kind of incremental sales can you drive for a company like Best Buy by adding this sort of contest where you're getting people to spend more time in the store?
Well, you could do some. I mean, I think the true answer is it's unclear yet, and I think creativity needs to be used to capture this information in more ways. I think that with the wallet, and if you have campaigns that are performance-based where people actually close the loop, which we have that technology now where they can actually buy within the app, they can pick it up in the store. It's easier to say, hey, you've driven exactly this amount of stores, but the best we can do now is say, well, your average store basket's $70, you've driven 27,000 people to the store, you've boosted sales by that amount. That's the best we can do so far, but we're working on new ways to have more metrics. There's some new technology coming down the line in terms of instant coupons bypassing the point of sale that we'll be using that should be really interesting in terms of actually performance-based advertising and campaigns.
And time. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Do you want this one?
I'll keep it up here.
Okay. Our next presenter is Andy Stower of Punchcard.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me. Punchcard is a mobile loyalty and rewards app. We make it very easy for a consumer to be able to get rewarded for all of your purchases that you make at thousands of locations, millions of locations around the U.S. And you as a consumer, simply all you do is you use the app, and I'll show you how you use it in a second, and you get rewarded for that. The general idea is that you're an awesome, loyal customer, and we've all been to businesses several times over and over again. You should get rewarded for that purchase behavior. How it works is that you just shop at the places that you love to shop at. You take a picture of your receipt to verify your purchase, and then you earn punches on a punch card for that business. You then get rewarded after you buy 10, get the 11th free, or buy 5, get the 6th free. And then the phone is in your pocket, so it's very easy to check out. We say that we're all about the checkout, and getting cash back from your purchases is a great way to get incentivized to use the app. Part of the reason why we are doing this is that for years I've been doing local marketing and local customer acquisition for local businesses, and through search, through social media, and the customer acquisition cost is very high for those businesses. Coupled with my experience of going to a lot of these places for the 37th time, for example, and they don't know who I am. And that's a broken experience both for the consumer and for the business, because it's expensive to get those consumers to come into your store and then watch them walk out. That's leakage in their model. So what we do is we say that we make it easier for the business to know who you are, and for you as the consumer to get rewarded for being that great customer that you are. It works at over 13 million locations around the US, so the idea is that it works everywhere, and you as a consumer can make this now a utilitarian type of part of your shopping experience and get rewarded for shopping at all the places that you go to. What's happening on the back end is that once that receipt gets uploaded, we collect a lot of really rich data that becomes the foundation of one of the most targeted type of ad network possible. We're combining actual purchase behavior with social graph data. And so that becomes highly personalized and becomes the foundation for being able to deliver very personalized kinds of offers back to consumers. And what it does also is it allows the businesses to see their customers like they've never seen them before. So they can see some analytics about who their customers are, what they're purchasing, how many offers they've sent out. You can send offers back in through the app on an automated basis. So we segment your customers based on their purchase behavior or their demographic profile, whatever important to your business, and then we help you reacquire them by sending them automated messages when they come through. So for example, a customer who comes in today might receive an offer that says, thanks for coming in today. If you come in again this week, you'll get a free dessert, or thanks for purchasing that sweater. If you come in this week and purchase a pair of jeans, then you get 50% off on those jeans. So it's hands-free mobile marketing, and what we do is we also give insights into this concept that we call the loyalty graph, which is essentially identifying who your customers are. Are they the high spenders? Do they come in frequently? Or are they the low spenders? Do they come in infrequently? Or any variation of that. So now having insight into that business, what it does is it gives you an idea of who your customers are and being able to deliver relevant offers to them based on that purchase behavior or their demographic profile. One of the benefits of Punchcard is that it works everywhere. So you as a consumer, you can use it everywhere, and as the business, it takes 5 minutes to set it up. There's no POS integration, which is why we can turn it on everywhere, so you don't need any in-store hardware or any devices or any things that you need to tap or bump. There's no staff training, there's no upfront costs. It's really easy to use. So the proposal that we put together here is for Jamba Juice. The challenge was for a local retailer. And what can we do for that local retailer? So it's a $500,000 budget, and our campaign goals are to build this addressable audience of a group of people that now Jamba Juice can communicate to and incent them to come back again and again and generate those repeat purchases from all of that activity. install this throughout all 750 locations, which is no trivial task, and we'll show you how we do that, and leverage their existing social media budget at the same time. So these are all challenges that we gave ourselves in order to prove this demonstrable ROI. So several entry points for the consumer. One entry point can be from the like on Facebook. So the general idea is you're a consumer, you clicked on the ad on Facebook, you went to the Jamba's website or their Facebook page, you like them to get that coupon. And what we can do is have that coupon resident in the phone in Punchcard and track that user all the way through transaction and through multiple purchases after that. So we're really playing this online to offline space, which is a very interesting space, and getting access to this level of granular purchase behavior is very interesting for businesses. So here's an example of how you as a consumer might see this, and you can send the Punchcard app to your phone to make it easy to download. Another place that you might start is from the location, so you might see some in-store signage. Jamba Juice has this big strawberry QR code in their windows now. We can just redirect that QR code to a download for the user to get them started. And on location, they simply just download the app, register with Punchcard one time, and then punch their Punchcard at Jamba Juice and get rewarded for that. What we're showing you here is some new features that are going to be released in a few weeks that allow you to share with friends, or also gift your friends punches to places that you like. And so the idea is we have a joke about punch your friends, but the reality is that it's a consumer-to-consumer type of way that consumers can refer business to places that they love. And you as a consumer, you get rewarded for that. And if I refer you to one of my favorite places and you go there, I get a punch for that referral. And you get an extra punch for that too. So great way for consumers to share and make it meaningful so you get real value out of that. The actionable results that you get from this are ways that you can see who your customers are, you can track their purchase frequency. You have this hands-free mobile marketing solution that now you can...
And time.
Oh, okay.
Judges?
How do you set yourself apart from your competition? It seems like there's a lot of similar services out there.
It's a good question. So the way that we look at the competition are really in three different buckets. There are loyalty programs that have in-store hardware, like an iPad or, is this on?
Yep.
Okay, good. They might have in-store hardware where you either have to tap something into an iPad or tap your phone or something like that, or POS integration. So all that stuff is really expensive, and you're also limited to the number of locations that you're in. So that's your universe of data that you can capture from. The other couple different loyalty programs are where you as the consumer connect with your credit card. Just connect your credit card and we'll put dollars back onto your credit card. Problem with that is that people don't want to be data mined, and they also don't want to, with all the identity theft issues, it's a high customer acquisition cost to do that. And the third is through QR codes. Take a picture of a QR code in the store, which you can Instagram, and everybody can, now get credit for that purchase that they never made, and we think that's problematic as well. So we're looking at this where you take a picture of your receipt. There's a whole fraud filtering capability in the back end of that. We OCR the receipt, and now what we're able to do is capture that level 3 data, that's the line item data on the receipt, and couple that with your social profile and really build a rich profile. And so now getting the actual purchase transaction data is much different than a QR code or tapping your phone or anything like that.
What are you doing to address the half of the audience that doesn't have a smartphone?
It's a good question. So we're looking at ways to be able to make this available via text. And so this is in our product pipeline to be able to receive a way to opt in to that location that you want to opt into via text, and also take a picture of your receipt and upload it, and we'll do the matching on the back end.
What do your numbers look like? But not download numbers, but actual usage metrics.
So the usage metrics are, so what we're seeing are that we have about 14% of our customer base has completed a redemption cycle through places that they love to shop at. So that's great verification for us that people are getting rewarded for shopping at those places. We're getting great feedback, great social feedback from consumers about that. Since we're able to capture the data from multiple locations, our sales effort is made much easier because you can walk into a place with data to say, we already have customers that are using Punchcard in your location, and so our acceptance rate with that is over 60% of the people that we pitch to go do that. We've launched the app officially about 6 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Sure. And we're going to be cash flow positive next week. That's the kicker.
Our next presenter is Mitch Williams of Gravity Jack.
Hi, thank you for bringing me here. It's great to see all the faces here. My name is Mitch Williams. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of an augmented reality company out of Liberty Lake, Washington. We've been around for just a little over 2 years. We've grown from 4 to 43 employees in just under 2.5 years. We started on the 3 Fs, Friends, Family, and Fools, seed capital, and in that time we've developed our own SDK, which makes us the only US-based augmented reality company with our own software developer kit. So all of our competitors are external to the US as far as SDKs go. We've also developed our own platform, which is Browse AR, available on iOS and Android. You can download it today. So what we've come up with is an augmented reality application, a marketing campaign for Ford Automotive Group. First of all, I want to hit on what is augmented reality. Many of you are probably wondering. It's not LSD. It is, in layman's terms, it's that yellow line you see on the football field when you're watching the NFL on Sundays. That yellow line really isn't there. It's augmented into the scene. So what we're doing is bringing that to a mobile device, being able to augment a scene with a mobile device. So what we're doing for Ford here is this idea of being able to take pre-existing marketing materials that they have, so print media that they've already made, already spent tons and tons of money on, and being able to add a whole new layer to it with augmented reality. So also taking new materials and adding augmented reality. So what we've done is we've added logic to this. So you can actually tap on the Ford Fusion, the Ford Focus, and see if you tap on the top, open up the car, see what the interior looks like. Tap on the hood, see what the engine looks like. So you're getting comfortable with the car that you're looking at. Change the color from red to black in an instant. Then from there, we have these buttons, as you see on the bottom, be able to visit the website, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter, or find the nearest dealership that carries that car, and it'll pull up Google Maps right there for you. So with this, we're collecting analytics, and these analytics are collected from social media connections, also the answers that you give us via your polling questions. We have a polling engine, so do you like this car? Would you drive it? What kind of gas mileage do you want? Then we're attaching that to an existing user. So for me, it'd be Mitch Williams, a 20-something male that likes folk music as it collects that data. So if I'm watching a video on a Ford marketing material, it plays a video with a 20-something male driving that car and some folk music in the background. It appeals more towards me as opposed to a 30-something female. So with that, we can also bring the vehicle to the home, and you can actually pretty much put that car in front of your house as if it's the showroom, and be able to see what it would look like as your neighbors drive by. So in augmented reality, we can put a 3D version of the car that you'd like in front of your home and get an idea of what you'd like to see there. So with all of this, it sounds all cool, but I want to talk about some other companies that we've been working with just to kind of show the weight that this has. So we've been working with MySpace. MySpace is working on a future of revolution of their product. And so many people think that MySpace is dead, which is funny because their campaign that they did at South by Southwest was exactly that. MySpace is dead. Long live MySpace. And what we did is add an augmented reality piece to that marketing material. So we're also working with them on further things that are under NDA because of the confidential stuff that they're working on behind the curtains. And as well as a partnership with IndyCar that we announced in early February. And with IndyCar, we're actually placing a telemetry bubble above the car at the track. So we're getting telemetry information, which is real-time tire pressure, engine temperature, speed, place that they are in the race. And so I can actually watch Will Power with like a kite following him around the track to kind of see exactly where he is at all time, because he's my favorite racer. And then we're working with a toy company out in New York called J8Play. J8Play just launched their product Mushabellies in early February at the New York Toy Show. And they're selling a physical good, a plush toy, and bringing it home to the kids. But inside the box, it comes with 3 augmented reality markers. And so the kids can actually play an augmented reality game there at home. And they upload their data about who they are and what the product is. And from then, they're able to play with their character, not only with the physical piece, but also the virtual piece. So they're tying that gap, understanding that the future is in iPad, iPhone, Android, when 44% of kids asked for iPod touches or iPads for Christmas this last year and 31% the year before. They're understanding that the future is in augmented reality, where people will be wearing glasses and actually working with augmented reality that way. Kids are really the future. So with all that, you've heard about just those 3 companies that we're working with, and that's just a few of them. And those same things we can bring to Ford. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'd love to hear your questions. My name's Mitch Williams, and I'm here for questions.
And you finished under time, so please, judges, ask away.
So that's cool. But I can hire 10 developers, stick them in a room. 3 weeks later, I have a great campaign to sell one of my clients. Why do I hire you?
So an augmented reality campaign?
Yeah.
Well, for us, we're looking to actually the future is to be in one place. What's the gentleman's name from ShopSavvy was talking about? People want to go to one place for their content. So what we've developed is Browser, which we want that to be to augmented reality, to what Google Chrome or Firefox is to the internet. So we're creating a place where everyone can go to and get an experience that's unique to them. So if you were to create it for Target, as you mentioned earlier, an app that you hired 10 developers, it's going to die because at some point they're just going to leave it and go on to the next thing. Whereas we want to bring everything collective, almost like an app store for augmented reality content. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is more of a statement than a question, but
yeah.
I think in the agency world, our clients want those unique one brand singular experiences. It's more a statement, not a question.
Okay. I appreciate the statement. Anyone else?
Just in general, what do you think the future of augmented reality is? Because it started about 3-4 years ago. I mean, it's way older, but people have been using it more and more. But what's the future really? I mean, is there like multiplayer games you do, or what's next?
Well, we actually did a demo for a printer company that actually spends $2 million a year sending service technicians out just to fix printers. And we've overlaid a 3D version of the printer and be able to show how you can open that door, open a drawer, so a consumer doesn't have to open up a manual. They can actually look at the printer, using our light oscillation patent, get a hash code back that says that this is your issue, and then this is where you need to fix it. This is where you need to solve the problem. So it is going to be in glasses, in contacts. University of Washington has a 40 by 40 pixel array out right now that they're working on, and then people are working on glasses. So what we're doing with Browser is developing kind of an OS. We see the future of it, and no offense to the ad and marketing world, it's limited here. It's going to pass in 2 years. Really, the future is in more applicable applications to further yourself down that road. But right now, while it's available in the ad and marketing world, it always will be. You'll be able to look at signs, billboards, see whatever suits your needs, and get that kind of material back. But it's really in that, if that makes sense. So, or turn-by-turn directions on your glasses as you're driving,
I mean, just to follow up on Mike's question, I mean, AR is something that has been around for a number of years, and uptake, it has a lot of promise, as we've seen from these examples and other campaigns that brands have experimented with. But what's going to make that the mainstream? I mean, what problem is that going to, what problem is it going to solve that it's not currently solving?
When people realize that it can help them do things, people don't know how to change their oil now. They go to Jiffy Lube or the nearest, oil can Henry's. And what we can do is actually show people with these glasses how to change their oil, save money that way. And in the medical field, when you see a doctor getting a visual example of, where they need to do the incision, where they need to enter in, and that's.
I hope they know that already.
No,
there's something wrong with our medical schools.
But that kind of guide, helping lessen the chance of error, is really what I think that when people start seeing it in that applicable use case, and right now, like I said, the kids are the future of augmented reality.
Thank you. And our final presenter is Craig Pally from Fixooh.
Hello, everybody. Fixooh is a platform for generating very large volumes of cost-effective, loyal mobile app users. The first challenge we as mobile marketers all face is how to make our apps stand out in the very crowded environments that are Google Play and the App Store, where there's well over 1 million apps and counting. So now that we've decided that we want to invest in our app and get growth, we set up the app marketing dilemma. Where do we invest our dollars? Mobile ad nets, RTB platforms, incentivized downloads, public relations. And if we do that, how do we measure and track ROI? How do we optimize the spend, especially in a world where the analytical tools that we've used on the desktop for the past 15 years no longer apply? One holistic solution is Fixooh for mobile apps. I'd like to draw your attention to the top of the two stacks. We have a full list of benefits, but the top two in orange. The first is that our platform is currently buying traffic from over 35 sources, inclusive of RTB, incentivized and non-incentivized traffic sources. And we simultaneously manage the App Store rank. Why do we do that? There's a unique cause and effect relationship in mobile where the things you do over here with advertising actually have an effect on your natural rank in those environments. It's almost as if you were bidding on Google AdWords and at the same time improving your natural rank within Google. Now, consider this. The users from these various channels all have very different values. So assume a user coming through an organic channel, naturally found in the App Store environment, that's worth a full unit of value. A user coming through a non-incentivized channel is probably going to have 1/4 of a unit of value, and somebody coming through an incentivized source is probably going to have more like 1/8 of a unit of value. With that backdrop, we can talk about how our platform would apply to a hypothetical scenario. We were given the challenge of working with a financial app where we had a $500,000 budget. We selected E-Trade for this challenge. The E-Trade app is a tool for facilitating stock trades, where that app is currently ranked about 30 in category on iOS and in Android market, and our data would suggest that they're getting about 5,000 downloads per day across platforms. So from there, we can set up goals for this program. The first goal would be to drive test drives from new users of the E-Trade app, and also drive better engagement from existing E-Trade members who may not be transacting on the device, where as we enter this post-PC era, we believe that would be critically important for E-Trade. So based on that, we can set up program parameters. We'd probably run this program for about 30 days. We'd establish a lawyer user value of about $5. That's based on the fact that the E-Trade affiliate program through Commission Junction pays $25 per completed application, and E-Trade pays $2.50 for each click on the keyword stock trade. We'd probably invest about half the dollars on iOS and half on Android. For iOS, it would be a quick burst, followed by a steady, sustained rank. And then with Android, it would be much more of a steady, consistent program, which is very much indicative of the two ranking algorithms that are both used, and throughout we're optimizing creative. Now, As we start the spend, during the first couple days, we're going to be buying a lot more downloads and getting fewer organics. And as we continue, we're going to decrease the number of downloads purchased and get more organics because those organic users are worth a lot more than the ones we get through attributable marketing. As a result, here's an actual screenshot, something we do with clients all the time, moving up from 39 in category up to number 2 in category. Now, net results. We'll have invested $500,000. During that time, we'll drive 872,000 downloads, which compares very favorably to the 150,000 downloads E-Trade would get without any marketing. During that time, we'd also expect to see 374,000 loyal users, where the cost per loyal user would come out to $1.33, again, comparing very favorably with $2.50 for a keyword click on stock trade. The program would net out $1.37 million in ROI for a return multiple of greater than 2.5, actually close to 2.74. We're very fortunate to have some great clients, both large brands and up-and-coming brands. We thought we'd compare and contrast the E-Trade example with another client in the finance category, this time an up-and-comer, Lemon. Lemon wanted to fast-track their app. It's a financial management tool. We're fortunate that they partnered with Fixooh. We analyzed their creative. Our platform ran various A/B split tests. We improved their spend on ads. And within 1 week, we expanded their loyal user base while reducing the cost to acquire those loyal users by 50%. The Android category rank during that week went from 83 to 31. And in the App Store, they went all the way to number 2 in category and to top 100 overall apps. That's out of the 700,000 apps that currently exist within the App Store environment. And the app was ultimately featured by Apple. In summary, Fixooh for mobile apps is a user acquisition platform that helps brands acquire very large volumes of cost-effective, loyal app users. For large brands, we can return incredible ROI, and for up-and-coming ventures, we can absolutely fast-track the company. Thank you.
Judges, questions, please?
How do the economics that you present here, how do they play out with a paid app?
So for paid apps, there's no cost-effective way through this holistic platform for generating downloads. We've actually recently launched another product called FreeMyApps, which is specifically for paid apps. And it is the only tool we know of that returns a positive ROI guaranteed on any paid app.
You say loyal customers. What's your definition of loyal?
Good. So every app has a different loyal app metric. Some, it's a registration. For others, it's a first-time transaction. For others, it's a number of screens turned. Okay? So what we've done is we've used our math to create a loyal user index, which basically combines all these different actions and says, for a minimum basket, for a basket of apps, what is the cost per loyal user? And that's what we drive that number from.
No more questions?
How do you set yourself apart from the competition? Is it purely pricing?
Ask the question again, please.
How do you set yourself apart from your competition?
So there's several. We partner with Google, iAd, Millennial Media, JumpTap, all the DSPs in the space, NextAge, AdMeld. We don't actually compete with them. We consider them partners, where we act as a yield optimization layer across the entire mobile ecosystem. To the best of our knowledge, there's not another demand-side solution that casts and trusts the entire ecosystem and is also tracking loyal in-app actions like purchases and registrations.
Any more questions? No?
Great. Thank you all.
Thank you. So now the judges are going to deliberate. I wanted to give you guys a look at the criteria that they're going to use to judge each of these startups. And I also wanted to give everyone a chance to ask some questions if they're interested. Guys, if you want to come back up on stage, that would be great so that you can answer some audience questions if we have any. So as you can see, the criteria is, this is what the judges are choosing to evaluate these companies on. Would this company receive a significant amount of your budget, either for a new technology or service platform, an ad campaign, or a funding investment? All of these companies have already received funding, but the question is, if the judges were in a position to give them more money, would they? uniqueness? Is this company the 38th knockoff of Groupon, or is it something that's bringing a new tool set or approach to a pertinent set of issues? As you heard, a lot of the judges were asking, well, how do you separate yourself from the competition? What makes you different than a company that does exactly what you do? Which idea, company, or approach is likely to have the biggest overall impact on American culture and business over the next 3 years? So it's not just how can you help advertisers now, but 3 years from now, will you still be in the market and will you change the game? And finally, did they follow the presentation guidelines? As you guys saw, they had 7 minutes to explain what they would do with a $500,000 budget, as well as show us some examples of what they'd done, what they'd already done. So just wondering if anyone has any questions for our startups. Okay, so I guess I will ask you guys some questions. Many of your apps are created for smartphones, and I know that smartphones are actually sort of becoming the majority of what people have, but how do you serve consumers that actually don't have them? And or do you think it's worth serving those consumers?
I'll bite.
Sure.
As startups, one of the hardest challenges we all face is deciding what not to do. Do you build for 2011? Do you build for 2012? Or do you build for 2013? At least in Fixooh's case, we decided to build for the future. We believe the future is on the smartphones. That's where we have users that have the most value, and that's where we focus our efforts for our clients.
I think from the ShopSavvy perspective, we do only target smartphones. And our view is that the share of smartphones of the total marketplace is growing even faster than we anticipated maybe 2 years ago. So we're pretty encouraged by what we see there. We don't do any kind of paid downloads. Getting new users isn't one of the bigger problems that we focus on. So we're not looking to kind of expand the user base by going into non-smartphone-based platforms. And we're pretty comfortable with that.
And we're looking at other ways to be able to engage anybody who's got a phone. So whether it's text or through a smartphone, currently our Punchcard is available on an Android device and iOS, but we are looking at ways that we will be incorporating opportunities for consumers who don't have smartphones to be able to opt in and use it.
LSD is the only other form I can think of outside of a smartphone. No, we are, we can make augmented reality for the computer. It's been done for years, and we have developed some augmented reality applications for people on their websites, and so it's possible for us to, but really, you know, the smartphones are our key target, but really, for the future, it's in glasses, as I mentioned. You know, someday that's going to be your mobile device.
So here's a bit of a hard or controversial question. For a long time, there were maybe, we could say 3 really big mobile platforms. We had iOS, we have Android, and we have BlackBerry. And we have Windows Mobile, but hopefully no one from Microsoft is here to hear me just say that. So RIM is sort of going away. Do you think that it's worth it for brands and their agencies to invest in creating things for the BlackBerry platform? Do you think that it's going to come back?
No. Short answer, no.
No, we never, it's the only platform we've never even touched or wanted to go near for the last 2 years.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
We never will. Microsoft's a different equation, right? Because Microsoft, they're investing a lot of money. You know, you could make an investment now, and their marketplace could take off. New phones is a big challenge for Microsoft. They need to get more phones that consumers want to buy. And if they solve that problem, I think it's going to help their overall ecosystem. So I think for a developer looking at Microsoft's a different equation. I wouldn't encourage anyone to develop for RIM ever.
You heard it here at AdTech.
Yeah.
So have the judges reached a decision? Yes? Okay, well, please share it with us.
We've opted to go with number 4 with Fixooh.
And thank you. Here's your AdTech Innovation Award. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, judges.
Feel free to get in touch with any of our startups here. They're also exhibiting in Innovation Alley downstairs. Thank you so much.